The council chamber fell silent when Warlord Kane slammed his clawed fist on the obsidian table. His 3 eyes burned with desperation as he surveyed the assembled alien kings, each representing empires that spanned dozens of star systems. None would meet his gaze. Princess Veyra had issued her challenge, and every ruler in the galaxy knew what that meant. She would arrive in 7 cycles, and whoever failed to send a champion would watch their homeworld burn. Kane had seen the recordings. Entire battle fleets reduced to molten debris by a single thought from her mind. Warriors with centuries of combat experience dropping dead before they could draw weapons. She was death incarnate, and she was bored. Cole leaned against the chamber's far wall, arms crossed, watching the alien lords squirm. His worn combat jacket marked him as military, but the lack of insignia told a different story. Mercenary. Drifter. One of the few humans crazy enough to venture into the deep territories where his kind were considered little more than amusing primitives. He'd listened to 30 minutes of excuses, each more pathetic than the last. The Vraxian Emperor claimed religious obligations. The Hive Matriarch cited biological incompatibility. The Stellar Dominion simply refused to acknowledge the question. Cowards, everyone. Cole pushed off the wall and walked toward the center of the chamber. 24 alien heads turned toward him, expressions ranging from confusion to outright disgust. Human. In their sacred council. Kane's mandibles clicked with irritation, but before he could speak, Cole cut him off. "I'll do it," Cole said simply. The chamber erupted. Outrage, laughter, disbelief all crashing together in a cacophony of alien voices. The Vraxian Emperor rose to his full 12 feet. Robes billowing. "This is an insult. You would send vermin to face a goddess?" Cole smiled, and there was nothing friendly in it. "I don't see anyone else volunteering." Kane silenced the room with a gesture, studying Cole with newfound interest. Humans were weak by galactic standards. Their bodies fragile, their lifespans brief, their technology borrowed from more advanced species, but they had a reputation for one thing: stubbornness. Occasionally, suicidal bravery. "You understand what you face?" Kane asked. "I've read the files," Cole replied. "She'll try to crush my mind, burn my synapses, make me kill myself before I get within 100 meters, he shrugged. "Won't be the first time someone's tried." The throne world of Veyra hung in space like a black pearl, its surface covered in structures that seemed grown rather than built. Cole's transport broke atmosphere alone, the pilot refusing to descend further than orbital range. Smart man. The landing platform extended from a spire that pierced the clouds, and Cole stepped out into air that hummed with energy. He felt it immediately, pressure against his skull like invisible hands testing the strength of his thoughts, probing, searching for weakness. Most beings would have collapsed already. Cole gritted his teeth and walked forward. The pressure increased with each step. His vision blurred. Blood vessels burst in his eyes, painting the world red at the edges. Every instinct screamed at him to run, to flee, to throw himself off the platform rather than take another step. He thought of Earth, of green fields and blue oceans, a world the galaxy had dismissed as irrelevant. He thought of every condescending alien who'd treated humans like children playing at war. He took another step. Then another. The throne room doors opened. Princess Veyra sat on a seat carved from a single crystal, and she was beautiful in a way that transcended species. Humanoid enough to read her expressions, alien enough to seem otherworldly. Her skin shifted colors like oil on water, and her eyes held galaxies. The psychic pressure became a hurricane. Cole's nose bled freely now, running down his chin, dripping onto the floor. His hands shook. His heart hammered against his ribs. He kept walking. 20 meters from the throne, he stopped because his legs simply wouldn't carry him further. He met her gaze and didn't look away. For the first time in decades, Veyra felt something unfamiliar. Surprise. The human should be dead. His brain should be soup, leaking from his ears. Yet he stood, bleeding and trembling, but standing. She eased the pressure slightly. "What are you?" she asked, her voice like crystal chimes. Cole wiped the blood from his face. Stubborn. Veyra descended from her throne, circling Cole like a predator studying prey. She'd killed thousands who challenged her. Warlords, Assassins, champions sent by empires desperate to control or destroy her. They all died screaming, their minds unable to withstand even a fraction of her power. This human was different, not stronger, not more skilled, simply unwilling to break. The council sent you to die, she said. Probably, Cole agreed. His vision was clearing now that she'd reduced the mental assault. But I'm still here. She laughed, and it was a sound of genuine delight. You are. Why? Cole considered the question. Because everyone's afraid of you. And I'm tired of being afraid. Veyra stopped circling, standing directly in front of him, close enough that he could see the patterns shifting across her skin. I could kill you with a thought. You could have killed me on the landing platform. But you didn't. The corner of her mouth lifted. No, I didn't. Veyra made her offer. 3 trials. If Cole survived, she would spare his world and grant him an audience with the council under her protection. If he failed, he would die. Simple terms. She didn't mention that no one had survived even the first trial in living memory. The first trial was physical. Combat drones materialized around Cole, armed with weapons designed to test reflexes and endurance. He fought with brutal efficiency, using tactics that prioritized survival over honor. When blades came too close, he dodged into cover. When plasma bolts forced him into the open, he rolled and returned fire. Aliens fought with pride. Humans fought to win. Veyra watched from her throne as Cole destroyed the last drone with a captured weapon, his armor scorched and dented but intact. Interesting. The second trial tested the mind. Illusions crashed over Cole like waves. His greatest fears made manifest. Loved ones dying, earth burning, failure and shame, and endless darkness. The psychic assault would have driven most beings to madness. Cole closed his eyes and breathed. In the academy, they'd taught him meditation techniques, mental discipline. The instructors claimed it was to resist interrogation. But Cole suspected they'd always known humans would need defenses against psychic species. He built walls in his mind. Not barriers to keep Veyra out, but structures to maintain his sense of self. When the illusions came, he acknowledged them and let them pass. Fear couldn't control what it couldn't convince. The assault ceased. Veyra stared at him with something approaching respect. The third trial was truth. Veyra entered Cole's mind not as an invader but as a presence, reading his memories, his intentions, his soul. She saw a man tired of war who kept fighting because someone had to. She saw losses that would have broken weaker spirits. She saw Earth, beloved and distant, a world that would never be strong enough to defend itself in this galaxy. She saw why he had volunteered. Not for glory or payment, but because letting fear make decisions was how civilizations died. When she withdrew, Veyra's expression had changed. The predatory amusement was gone, replaced by something raw. Recognition. You're lonely, Cole said quietly. It wasn't a question. Veyra's composure cracked. Everyone fears me. Every being in this galaxy looks at me and sees death. Her voice carried centuries of isolation. Even those who claim to love me want only to use my power. Cole understood then. The trials weren't to test him. They were to see if anyone existed who could stand in her presence without terror consuming them. Someone who saw her as a person rather than a weapon. The council didn't send me to fight you, he said carefully. What did they send you to do? Veyra asked, though her expression suggested she already knew. Cole pulled a data chip from his jacket. They gave me these. Coordinates to your shield generators. Codes to bypass your defenses. Payment transferred on confirmation of death. He placed the chip on the floor between them. They wanted me to assassinate you. The temperature in the throne room dropped. Energy crackled around Veyra's form. And yet you tell me this, because it's wrong. You refuse to help them conquer innocent worlds, so they want you dead. That's not justice. Cole met her eyes. I didn't come here to kill someone for having principles. Veyra's sensors detected the fleet before Cole's did. 60 warships emerging from hyperspace at the system's edge. The assassination fleet arriving early. Kane had never trusted a human to complete the mission. This was insurance. Cole watched the tactical display with professional detachment. Can you stop them? Veyra smiled, and it was terrifying. I could. But I've been alone so long, fighting alone, surviving alone. She looked at Cole. Show me what humans do when they fight beside someone instead of beneath them. They plan for 3 hours. Cole understood war, not psychic combat or energy manipulation, but tactics and psychology and the brutal calculus of victory. Veyra had raw power. Cole had the ability to use it precisely. The fleet entered weapons range expecting a single target. Instead, they found Cole's ship broadcasting false sensor readings, creating phantom signatures across the system. Confusion, hesitation. The first 3 seconds of any battle determined the outcome. In those 3 seconds, Veyra struck. Not the overwhelming psychic assault she was known for, but surgical strikes coordinated with Cole's tactical markers. Command ships lost their bridges. Carriers had their launch bays fused shut. Destroyers found their weapon systems inverted, targeting their own formation. The fleet broke formation, captains screaming contradictory orders. Cole guided Veyra's attention like a conductor leading an orchestra. Every strike served a purpose. Every loss multiplied enemy confusion. Humans didn't fight fair. They fought smart. Within 20 minutes, the fleet was scattering, survivors fleeing to hyperspace. Kane's flagship remained, its warlord too proud to run. Veyra boarded it alone. Kane died quickly, which was more mercy than he deserved. Veyra stood on his bridge, broadcasting to every world that had sent ships. Her voice reached across light years, amplified by technology and psychic might. I am Princess Veyra. I have lived for 400 cycles, watching empires rise and fall. I have been feared, courted, and hunted. Today, that ends. Cole stood beside her, visible in the transmission. A human, unremarkable by galactic standards, yet undeniably present at her side. This human did what none of you could. He stood in my presence without fear because he chose courage over survival. He rejected your bounty because he valued honor over wealth. Her image blazed brighter. From this moment, Earth and its colonies are under my protection. Any world that seeks freedom from tyranny may request the same. But know this, I will no longer tolerate empires that build themselves on conquest and fear. The transmission ended. In the silence that followed, Cole activated his communicator. Earth Command responded immediately, confused and elated. A human had just formed an alliance with the most powerful psychic in known space. The balance of galactic power had shifted in one brutal engagement. Veyra turned to Cole. They'll come again, stronger next time. Let them, Cole said. Humanity's been waiting for a real fight since we left our solar system. She laughed, truly laughed, and the sound echoed through the empty flagship. For the first time in centuries, Veyra wasn't alone. She had found something no amount of power could create, an equal. Not in strength or ability, but in will, in the willingness to stand firm when everything demanded retreat. The galaxy had feared the princess. Now they would learn to fear what happened when humanity refused to kneel. And that fear would change everything.